Hi and welcome back to my channel. Oh, I'm showing my face on here because I want to just let you know that I'm back. Oh, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. Um, I've spent 2 weeks, just spent 2 weeks in hospital after a fall that I had, and oh, it's so good to be home. The last 2 weeks have been so intense. Um, I was actually on my way to, well, the day before I was supposed to go to my daughter's place and stay with her for a couple of weeks. So I got, I dyed my hair purple. I put on blue nail polish, and you do all those sorts of weird things when you're going to go somewhere for a while, and tarted myself up, put on a nice dress and shoes and stuff. Went out that morning, the day before we were supposed to leave, and the it had been raining a lot, and well, it had been raining a lot for the past few weeks, and the awning on our cabin doesn't actually have a gutter, and it leaves a couple of inches of water underneath it, and that's the path I need to go to get in the car. So after months of rain, it had obviously formed some sort of slippery slime or whatever underneath that awning. So here I go. For the right foot just slips right out in front of me, and my back foot, I don't know where that went, but I actually sat on it. And broke my foot, the bone of my foot clean off. So my foot was actually detached, still in the skin, obviously, but actually detached from my leg. And I looked around when I fell. I thought, oh, that didn't sound good. I heard 3 crunches. And I looked around and my foot was all twisted the wrong way. And adrenaline kicked in because I didn't feel a thing. I was laying there for quite a while until I got, until Dave actually came and took me to the hospital. He wasn't far off. And I actually thought, well, I've got to get my shoe off because in case this all swells up. So I took one shoe off, and then the other one I started jimmying it off that was on me bung foot, and it all popped around the right way, which was just, I nearly threw up. Still at this stage, I'm in a state of the adrenaline was kicking in. I still wasn't feeling much. But by the time Dave got there, I was starting to feel pretty sore and sorry for myself. I was completely wet, covered in mud, starting to shake and, get to that point where I'm like, okay, something's got to be done here. He got me to the hospital, and they took me into emergency, and they ended up having to give me they gave me an anesthetic that was just it put me to sleep, but it was only one that was meant to put you to sleep for 5 minutes, and I remember Dave in the room, the nurses all in the room. There was at least 10 nurses all around me, and I remember seeing Dave at the bottom of the bed, and as I was getting put under, they said that it could have a weird effect on me, the anaesthetic. And as I was getting put under, the anaesthetic, it made me feel like everything was in a glitchy movie, and everything was moving in a big glitchy way, and all the nurses started to blend together. And I remember screaming to myself, when I seen that. But when I come to, I was like, oh, that was the best sleep. That's what I remember saying when I come to. But then later, Dave said to me, as though you were going under, you let out the most blood-curdling scream and, and screamed the whole time you were under and thrashing your legs. The nurses could only just hold you down. And they said that I popped my foot back in myself because I was kicking so much. And then they put a cast on it to try and keep it in alignment, because the Wodonga Hospital actually doesn't do orthopedics. So they put that on, and I had to wait there for, I don't know whether it was 1 or 2 nights. I think it might have been 2 nights for a bed in Wodonga Hospital. So as soon as there was a bed open in Wodonga Hospital, they bundled me up and taxied me over to Wodonga, which isn't far off. It's probably about 10-15 minutes away. And then that's where I stayed for the next 2 weeks. So when I got to Wodonga Hospital, the surgeons came the next day to have a look at it. They cut the cast open and said, no, we can't do anything because it's all swollen. Because apparently when you break your leg like that, I was lucky that I didn't sever any blood, veins. I was lucky that it didn't stick out of my skin or anything like that, because I could have been laying there bleeding to death. Oh gosh, it's just been so traumatic. I just gotta have a minute. So in Albury Hospital, the surgeons looked at it, said that it was too swollen. They came back the next day because it was then the cast was all hanging out because they'd cut it all and mangled all the cast. So, in this time, I can't walk on it, obviously. I sneezed a couple of times and it popped out, like it popped out of place, which was pretty freaky feeling. I also, in that time, I think it was the next day, the surgeons came back and said, look, we're going to have to put an external fixation on your leg, and you're going to have your leg up and wait until the swelling goes down before we can do anything, because apparently there's a window of time when you break your leg like that where they can operate, because your skin swells up like a sausage, like a Frankfurt, and if they cut that, they can't sew it back together because it's all split open. So the next day they took me in. This is all like, I'm going in by myself. I was just grateful for the nurses. It was so good, because it's pretty freaky being rolled into surgery by yourself, Okay, I had cannulas hanging out of my arms too. I had one in each arm, still from Wodonga Hospital. And in that time I was at Wodonga, I stayed there 2 nights. I had nothing to eat, because I didn't know whether they were going to take me to Albury for surgery. I only had ice to eat in that time. So all the cannulas were kept in, and all the things on my chest ready in case I had to go into surgery. I had one small meal at Albury while I waited for the surgeons to say, well, what are they going to do? So in 4 days I had one tiny little meal. I had still had things hanging out of my arm, with drips and stuff. And then they finally took me down to get the external fixation. I come out of the anaesthetic pretty good that time. No sore throat or anything like that. the what was I going to say? Okay, it was pretty confronting seeing the all the pins on the outside of my leg, because the pins actually went into my ankle and then up my calf. So I had pins put in my either side of my ankle. I had pins coming out of the halfway up my leg, and it all sort of connected like a big Meccano set. I'll put some pictures up at the end of the video of it. So so it was pretty confronting waking up looking at that. Pretty freaky, thinking, what the hell, have I done? So in that time, I had to keep my leg up and and lay back as much as I could so that it was above my heart, so I could drain the just keep it so it was not drain it, but keep it so it would swelling would go down. So I waited. It would have almost been a week for that swelling to go down. It was ready probably 2 days. I probably would have been late. Like the surgeon said, it was ready, and then I waited another 2 days until they could fit me in to have the internal pins put in. So the internal pins, I finally went to have that. That was on a Friday afternoon. Pretty confronting, getting wheeled back in again to have surgery without anyone there that, because in that time Dave was only coming up at night time to visit. So, getting wheeled in again by yourself. We're thankful that a nurse was there that had been nursing us all week to, just help us, give you some moral support as you go under. So I woke up this time with sore throat, a cut in the top of my lip, in the inside of my lip from all the stuff they shoved down your neck. And woke up in most excruciating pain, and a big boot on my foot. The surgeon said everything went well. I just had to, sit there now and start to try and get used to getting around. So I think the first night I had ice on it. I just had to tell them to undo the boot and put ice on it, and pretty strong painkillers. But in the end, they were making me feel sick, so I had to back off on them and take a lower dose one or different one. Anyway, oh gosh. And yeah, just try and gave it a few days to sort of like all the time I can wiggle my toes and feel everything, which is good. So none of that sort of feeling ever left. That was always been there. And now I've just got to what did I do then? They discharged me exactly. It was actually exactly 2 weeks from when I did it. So discharged me with a swag of medication. Every night I've got to put a needle in my belly to because I'm not mobile. I need to give myself a needle to stop blood clotting. That's pretty confronting actually. And because Dave won't do it, I don't look, but I get him to tell me if I'm going in the right direction. I stayed with my daughter one night, but she's a busy mum. So I finally got back here to the cabin, and Dave's fixed it all up so I can get from A to B, do my business. I've been home now a couple of days, and he bought me an office chair so I can just jimmy myself around a little bit, and I've got a frame, and and shower chair and chair over the dunny. So that's going to be my life now for the next 6 weeks. I can't weight bear on it for 6 weeks, otherwise it will take longer to get better. What else? After in the next couple of weeks, they're going to take the bandage off and check all the wounds. I'm not sure how many incisions they made. I think it was at least 2. So it's not feeling too bad. I've just gone back to Panadol. I'm not taking any painkillers now. It's just really uncomfortable. Uncomfortable to sleep with, mainly at night time when you lay still. You know, it's you feel everything. So so I'm just sort of putting down my thoughts because it's just been really hard. If I sit and I think about the whole process and the length that I have to recover, because it'll be 6 weeks no weight bear, another 6 weeks in maybe light weight bear, I'm not sure, and then another goodness knows how much physio I'll have to have, and I have to learn to walk on it again, and do get all the physio done on it. So I've really done it in good, and I beat myself up every day. If I think too much about the whole, it as a whole, I just can't. And just, oh my gosh, I just get so overwhelmed with it. I take an antidepressant as it is, and it's just keeping me above water at the moment. So I talk to Dave each day, and he says, look, just one day at a time. You just got to think about today, get through today, what you're going to do today. It's so frustrating. So frustrating. Anyway, so I'm home, and that's sort of extent of what I did to myself. So the reason I'm in this state is that we rent a cabin in Caravan Park, and the cabin doesn't actually, the awning over where I slipped doesn't actually have a gutter on it, and all this wet weather that we've had caused that area to be, the water to sit and become slippery. And we're in the process of trying to get some actual compensation help to see if we're eligible for that, because I'm just going to be out for so long. And so I've talked to a lawyer's secretary. They've sent me some forms, and I've got to fill all the information in and send it all back to see if we're eligible. So I just hope and pray that something, like that could be worked out, because, oh gosh, just what it has done to me physically and mentally is... Anyway, that's me. So in that time, our poor little dog, he was just so put out. I was just grateful of Dave's boss. She let him go to work with Dave in the ute some days. Other days he went to our daughter's place and sat there. But oh gosh, I missed him so much, and It wasn't until quite the end of the 2 weeks that Dave actually brought him to the hospital and I could give him a cuddle. But yeah, he hasn't stopped spooning me since I got home at night time in bed. He hasn't left my side. He's yeah, he's a good deterrent of depression, that's for sure. He helps keep my mind a little bit sane. Yeah. I've got three videos, op shop video, crafter videos that I had in the archives before this happened. Like I was ahead of myself with videos, so I'll put them up. Yeah, just be aware that the next 3 have been while I've been still well and able. Oh, sorry guys if that was confronting for anyone. Um, I'm just beyond it. Oh, look, while I was away, I got a couple of things come that I'd already put in, like already ordered. Some of them were these beautiful, beautiful buttons, handmade buttons. I got them off a lady on Etsy, and they've been made with vintage fabric. And I just thought they were gorgeous when I seen them. They weren't that expensive either. So I ordered the last 2 packs that she had. I guess she'll make more. I'll try and put the link below where I got them from. But aren't they beautiful? So that came. I had I got an order of stuff from Purveyor of Textiles on Instagram, and I ordered a few books off her. These are the books that I got. The Needlecraft magazine book of embroidery stitches. So, sorry about the telly in the background. I forgot to turn it down and I can't get to it in a hurry. So there's a lot of different stitches in these books that I can learn. Outline stitches, what they call, yeah, that section. Border stitches, filling stitches. So there was that book. There was this cute little book, Crazy Quilt Stitches, which I'd never seen before, and it's just got all sorts of stitches in here that you can do, all sorts of stitch patterns. So I thought that would be really handy, you know, like you got fly and then it shows you what you can do with it, and all that sort of stuff. So if you know the stitches, then you can just do the pattern, you know. So I thought that was a really good little pickup. Floral Emblems of Australia. I may have this, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't think I do, but obviously that's why I would have got it. But this is all cross stitch. So these are all just going to go in my personal library, craft library. Then there was this one, Crazy Quilt Odyssey. This one wasn't as good as I expected it to be, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. It's got all the stitch names in there and things you can do, I guess. But it's a little bit old-fashioned, but that's alright. I mean, slow stitching has brought crazy quilting into a new era, hasn't it, really? So they were the books that I bought off her. I also got some motifs off her, some little beaded motifs. There's 3 of those, and a little starfish, which I thought was gorgeous. So I got them, and I also got ordered a thing of bead thread. So I got these off AliExpress, but this is one of my original bead threads, and it's a Nemo brand. I know that, and I know I've got some more of it in a box, a bead box somewhere. But this bead thread is fantastic. It's almost like dental floss, but it's really strong and it's flat, so it's really easy to thread in your bead needle, and it's very, very strong. So I thought I would buy myself a range of colors that I could use when doing some beading. So I think I used some of this purple one, and it's just as equivalent, I found, to the Nemo one. So I found it just as strong, just as easy to thread up and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested, I can put the link there to the AliExpress link. There was a few different brands there, but yeah, they're probably the same sort of thing. I think they were the 2 different brands, beading thread. So I just got a range of colours that I can specifically use with beading, and I've got a thing of wax coming, because it's good when you're doing that to actually wax your thread. It makes it even, it just makes it stronger. I think when you pull it, it helps it sit in place better. So I got them, and I got the little container separate. I think these were all about $3 something each, all these colours. So I thought, well, I'll just get the whole range of colours and then I'm covered then. So they're the things that I got while I was away, and then all the threads in upcoming crafter hauls. Like, there's some of the threads I got in upcoming crafter haul videos that I'll put up, and I've just sat here yesterday and wound them onto bobbins, paper bobbins, and put them in a container. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of days. I thought, I'm just going to do something mindless, just to take me mind off things, and yeah, so I sat here and did all this winding. So that's just a quick catch up. My next video I'll put, like I said, I've got 3 op shop crafter videos that I can put up, and I might put one up with this video, and then the other 2 the next couple of weeks along. But I won't be out op shopping. I won't be out doing that for a while, so I'm going to sort out what I've got, and yeah, try and get in and make some things now. Maybe this has forced me to whoop. Hello. Oh, this is a thread that I found. Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? So yes, it's forced me to stop op shopping, and forced me to sit here and think and what I can create. So I'll sort a few things out. I've still got my my cover that I started. I might start something on that and try and get my head out of this horrible place. Alright, thanks for your well wishes. I really appreciated that in the comments, and on social media. I've appreciated all your well wishes. They've got me through the last couple of weeks like you wouldn't believe, because it's just been so tough. And I'll catch you all again real soon, hopefully for a make video, because I now need to get in and just, I've got hours to kill. And oh look, I bought all the, I didn't bring them all, but you know, all the little medication cups they give you with your medication. And I flattened one out when I got home, and I thought, oh, I'm going to tea dye that and put something in the middle of it. So I already was thinking in hospital, what can I do? I'm just like that, my mind just keeps going and going. Alright, I'll catch you real soon for a new video, and if you're new here, yeah, please don't be too blown away by my story or the pictures, but that's just life, and that's what happens, and I've got to try and get through it, and hopefully this will help. Bye.